Hello everybody, good afternoon and welcome to MXGPTV.com. It's round 7 of the FIM Motocross World Championship and this is the MXGP of Latvia. We're all getting ready to go racing here. The track's in the opposite direction, so that alone should make it an interesting race this weekend. Now on our show today we've got Ben Watson, Arminas Jasikonis and Marcos Pereira de Freitas from HRC. He's the general manager there now for MXGP. And we'll end the show today on the with a kind of a tribute, if you like, to the late Eric Gabors, a 5-time world champion who sadly lost his life at the start of the week. So stick around for that one at the end of the show. Before we get going, though, Lisa Leyland is with us again, as always. It's round 7,
yeah.
A new layout here.
Definitely.
And I know I'm looking forward to it. And what about you?
Yeah, definitely. Like you said, the track's going backwards. And we've had a lot of positive comments about it, not only just by the way it looks, but also by the way it rides. So I just think it's a bit of a refreshing change, isn't it, to quite a familiar circuit to all of us. So
yeah.
It should be interesting.
And a beautiful part of the world,
yeah.
again, as always. We've had some great sunsets here. But let's start the show. Ben Watson, Kamir Yamaha. First of all, Ben, congratulations on your podium a couple of weeks ago in Russia.
Thanks very much.
Has it sunk in yet?
Yeah, definitely. Obviously, after it happened, it was a massive relief to finally get it done because I've been so close a few times now. But it was good to get it done and get it off my back and now be able to concentrate on taking another step.
We had a solid 3rd place finish in race 1, but 6th in race 2. When you crossed the line, did you think, I've missed the podium again? Because you've got a habit of doing that this year until that point, hadn't you?
Yeah. I crossed the line and I thought, damn, 4th overall again. But obviously it's 4th overall. I can't be too mad at myself. But I came over and I was absolutely gutted again. And then I rode up to the pits and the team manager was there. And
I mean, just watching you here, like this first race in particular, where you finished in 3rd place, not for the first time this year, I might add. You looked so fluid and so comfortable on the hard pack, which I think surprised a lot of people. Were you a little bit surprised at how well you rode there as well?
Yeah, definitely, because this kind of track is not me at all. The real hard pack, and I'd much prefer to be doing a race around Lomor than there for sure. But I've said it before, but I feel like I didn't ride so good in Russia, but I just kind of put myself in the situation and I was there. And yeah, this time the point system worked for me, unlike Argentina, and put me on the podium. Yeah.
You mentioned Argentina. You came close to the podium in Patagonia. You missed it by just 1 point. But in terms of race finishes, it doesn't get much closer than 1/10 of a second between you and TKO in Portugal. So that must have been pretty crazy.
Yeah, it was, like I said before, I definitely rode better in Portugal and for sure in Argentina, but it was a big last lap push in Portugal that, made it really exciting. Yeah,
well, going into the last lap, it looked like he had you, or maybe you'd settled for 3rd, but then all of a sudden you were back on him, weren't you?
Yeah, I had a bad couple of laps with back markers, and then the final lap I really got a clear track and just pushed really hard, and I made some good time, and then it came to the last corner and I just didn't quite have enough.
No, we just saw there as well, going in, I mean, actually in the live commentary, we were just expecting the pass, and then it cut to Prado crossing the line as the race winner, and Adam Wheeler and myself were just like, what? Did he? No, no. And then we just saw you both come over the line, 1/10, it was so close. And then when we see what was the highlight clip there, that bobble you almost sort of like 50 pence the rut, didn't you? You kind of went in and in again, and that just seemed to slow the momentum.
Yeah, I feel like if the corner was just flat, then I could have just kind of pushed him wide and taken his line away. But unfortunately, I kind of jumped off the single on the inside, and then I was dropped into a deep rut and kind of had to stick on my own line. And because he was on the outside, he got the drive, and
Well, we could ask you how you're feeling about the season in general, but 4th in points, I'm guessing you're quite pleased with the way it's going. But how do you feel the way things are going at the moment?
Yeah, really good. Yeah. It's been a really positive start. Unfortunately, last weekend, last Sunday in Mill, I had a little crash on the first lap of race 2, and I tweaked my wrist a little bit, and I struggled a little bit in the morning warm up this morning, but it's okay and I can ride. So I just need to stay consistent like I have been up to now, and just keep getting some solid points and just doing what I can each weekend because, yeah, at the moment it's going really good.
Yeah.
Well, there's a lot of changes for you, weren't there? Because it was a massive move for you joining Kemia. Are you glad you did it? And for you, what was the biggest change with all that?
For me, pretty much everything has changed. I'm now living in Belgium, which is a real big thing for me because, yeah, I've always been at home and kind of doing my practice bike myself and all my training myself. And now I'm in Belgium. I have a full-time practice mechanic and race mechanic, and then I have Jackie Vilandra, who's full-time. Now, unfortunately, Sever's left one-on-one with me, so yeah, there's a lot of focus on me, and the whole team, from the mechanics, yeah, everybody's putting absolutely 100% into it. So
you say obviously with Sever just having a knee injury in the second race in Russia a couple of weeks ago, his home round, unfortunately for him. Are you feeling a little bit of expectation now, or more pressure now that there's all that expectation on you? You got Jargo Geerts, of course, but he's, I guess, with him still being in school, he's still considered semi-pro or whatever until he leaves school in June. And he's not training with you and Sever and Jackie, is he? He's doing his own thing until after he's left school. So, I mean, how does that make you feel? Are you just going about your daily routine in the same way as best you can and trying not to think about it? Or has it not really sort of affected you at the moment, do you think? I know it's only been a few days.
Yeah, it's not going to change anything. Yeah. Jackie was always put as much focus into me as he could, and also into Sever as he could. And it was basically one-on-one anyway because, yeah, me and Sever have our own training vans, and if Sever wants to go hard pack and I want to go sand, then we can go separate ways. And it's Jackie kind of listens to us, and yeah, he does what we want to do, but at the same time, there's always been so much focus. It doesn't add any more pressure or take any off. It's the same.
Coming into the start of the year, excuse me, did you have any goals or expectations as to where you wanted to finish, and are you exceeding that at the moment?
Yeah, sure. A massive goal for me this season was to achieve a podium, and yeah, we're 6 rounds in, and I've managed to do that, and I've come really close twice now. So yeah, the team had their own goals with me, I think, and I kind of kept my goals to myself and just been working to them on my own. And
you little sneak.
Yeah,
I'm not sharing.
So I think the team will have changed a little bit now with how they want me to do, but yeah, it doesn't add any more pressure.
And just really quickly, last 10 seconds, how do you feel about the new layout here in Kegums, riding it backwards in reverse direction?
I really enjoyed it this morning. Yeah. It's nice to ride something different, and it actually feels like a completely new track, so yeah, I'm enjoying it.
All right. Ben Watson, Kemia Yamaha, thanks for joining us here.
Thanks, Ben.
All the best for today and for the rest of the season as well. Ben Watson, everybody. Right, Arminas Jasikonis is just waiting in the wings to come and see us. He's guest 2. But before we meet him, let's see what happened in Russia 2 weeks ago, or 10 days ago. Here's highlights from MX2 Race 2.
MX2 Race 2, and this time it was Paul Jonas who outmuscled his teammate to take over the foxhole shot, and that was for the 3rd time this year as Calvin Vilandra had to surf the inside bank. Jed Beaton got lucky with this, almost landing on Conrad Muse on what was a very tricky surface to negotiate. Thomas Kjær-Olsen made light work of Ben Watson in the early stages as the young Brit found the conditions just a little bit too tricky. Adam Sterry also went off track. He would remount and get back into 12th by the end of the race on the F&H Racing Kawasaki. Water needed out on the racetrack made things a little bit slick. And Jacoby was in the thick of it once more. This time surrounded by the likes of Sever Brilikov, Calvin Vilandra, Thomas Kjær-Olsen and Ben Watson. Ika Larinaga was in there as well for Ottaviano Husqvarna as Vilandra struck early. Made his move on Jacoby, who then fell. And he would eventually come home in 13th on his STC Racing Husqvarna. Thomas Kjær-Olsen was in 4th place, being challenged by the number 10 of Vilandra. Watson was comfortable in 6th. Just behind him, the menace of Jed Beaton. Beaton muscled his way down the inside of Sever Brilikov. And unfortunately, the Russian, his race would end on lap 9, whilst in 8th place with a suspected knee injury. Not good for the Kemia Yamaha rider. Meanwhile, Thomas Kjær-Olsen came under attack once more from Calvin Vilandra, and the South African made a gritty and determined move to make his way into fourth with a handful of laps to go. Jonas was masterful at the head of the field once more on his Red Bull KTM. Jorge Prado, though, tried to make a last lap lunge down the inside, but it wasn't to be. Michele Chervelin held on for third, Calvin Vilandra was fourth, and Thomas Kjær Olsen fifth, and Ben Watson came home in sixth, and that was good enough to get the Brit his first ever podium in MX2. Pauls Jonas was victorious with a double moto win ahead of his teammate Jorge Prado in what was another Red Bull KTM 1-2. Ben Watson third overall with a third and a sixth. And in the championship chase, Jonas now leads Prado by 20 points. Thomas Kjær Olsen is 27 points further back in third. Ben Watson hangs on to fourth place in the championship. Next stop is the home of Pauls Jonas as we go to Kegums in Latvia.
Welcome back, everybody, to our studio show here at Kegums in Latvia, round 7 of the FIA Motocross World Championship. Our second guest has joined us, Mr. AJ Shorty, number 27, Arminas Jasikonis from just over the border, actually, in Lithuania. Welcome to our studio show, AJ. It's been a tough few months for you, hasn't it? Since you broke your femur in the US in September last year, then I guess winter rehabilitation. Suzuki closing its doors, looking for a new team, not sure if and when you would get a ride. Tell us about it. How difficult a time has it been for you this off-season?
Well, it was really difficult, you know. First of all, dislocating my hip.
Yeah, okay,
which, yeah. So I dislocated, which took quite some recovery, and yeah, then everything fell apart with Suzuki, and then in the end I had to find some team, which was pretty difficult because everyone been signed already. So yeah, it was not easy, but we survived, and it only made me stronger, you know. If I survived, it's good, you know.
Yeah.
So when did you finalise your deal with Honda Red Motor as Motor? Because it wasn't announced till pretty late.
Well, the thing is, I couldn't announce because of Suzuki, because I had contract till end of the year, so that's why. So we finalized actually a couple of months before New Year, something like this. Then 1 month before New Year, I started riding with the bike easy. So that was actually enough time to recover, but still I've been struggling with my leg a little bit and everything.
I mean, you mentioned struggling with your leg, but how has the season been so far for you? We're a few rounds in now. How's it been?
Well, by my results, it's going better. I feel better on the bike. We've been struggling with the bike to set it up good, and we still a little bit on the struggle, but every time I get on the bike, we make little steps, and the result, of course, also coming better and better. So I think it's going good way.
Russia looked fun. You seemed like you were in the thick of the action and mixing it with some decent names and getting some good results. How was Russia last time out for you?
Yeah, well, the first moto, I found some good lines. You know, I found some good places to pass, and I made some good sectors, of course, and yeah, which made me a little bit to mix up with the guys, and of course I had fun. You know, it was cool that I could be there close to them, and that's what I'm working for, of course. So yeah, it was fun. You know, second moto I've been a little bit struggling with the start and everything because I had to start from dead last. So it was good. It was something fun, which made me more motivated to come to this GP.
And I guess for the first time, we've been there in 2 years, we had good weather on Sunday. That must have made a difference to how, you know, the weekend played out.
Well, yeah, it was a big difference. It was nice weather. Nice weather there this time. It's actually nice people, and everything was nice track too. And second moto, it was getting a little bit like hard, but anyway, still it was fast and fun.
It looks like a nice flowing track, and I think that kind of track is great to have on the calendar. We'll speak to more to AJ in just a moment, but fancy winning a prize from one of our partners, Fox? Check this little baby out. Fox Racing has just joined forces with MXGP this weekend with a quiz and win contest, and one lucky fan will walk away with some amazing prizes courtesy of Fox Racing and MXGP. For your chance to win, go to our Facebook page, click the link. That's vital that you do that, and answer the question: what is the newest Fox Racing innovation on their 180 boot? Is it True Motion or Active Lock? Once entered, contestants will automatically be in the draw to win a pair of the new Fox 180 boots along with the 2018 MXGP TV season package and a copy of MXGP3, the video game. Contest closes on Tuesday, so just in a few days' time. Play now. What are you waiting for? Don't be disappointed. And those boots there, they could be yours.
Oh, it's a great prize. Good luck with that. But
Fantastic
back to
prize.
AJ. I know Paul mentioned earlier it's been a tough winter for you, but what was the toughest part? Was it getting back to the training after the injury, the switch of team, or was it just getting used to the new bikes? There was a lot of things going on, wasn't there?
Well, I guess the injury, it was a little bit struggle in the beginning, but later it was all good. But the struggle was not enough time on the bike because
Right.
we've been struggling to set it up good, which didn't let me do proper modos, which still now a little bit is a weakness of me to be consistent on complete modos. So I think that was the problem, a little bit setting up good the bike. So new team, of course, and also that was, I think, main struggle.
Yeah.
Yeah, because also when people talk, you know, Suzuki and Honda, the chassis, the frame style is very different, but are they very different to ride?
Well, yeah, they are different for me, you know, as I'm tall rider. Everyone says Honda is a little bit smaller, which a little bit gives me the feeling that which is hard for me to feel it. So we have to change some stuff to really fit to my riding style.
Okay, well, let's talk briefly, excuse me, about last year. Obviously, there were some good moments. You led a race here. You won a qualifying race in Portugal. You got on the podium there. But particularly here, leading in front of many Lithuanian fans. How important is this Grand Prix to you? I guess it's the closest one to home you'll race all year.
Yeah, I mean, this weekend I have some special stuff and everything, you know, so special gear and all. It's really special for me, you know, to get my all crowd happy. Actually, it's something what I want because motocross is at the moment not the most popular sport, but I want to make it popular, you know. I wanna mention it and of course to make it popular. So that's what I trying to do.
Just watching that back there, does it fill you with pride that you did the weekend that you had in Portugal last year?
Yeah, it's my. If anything you would ask, I would put this day as my best day ever. It's just the best.
Everything clicked, and it was also good for the 250 boys as well. The Mangoes.
Yes, Mangoes.
How are the Mangoes, actually? And if you're wondering who the Mangoes are, just follow the social pages of AJ or Jeremy Seawer or Hunter Lawrence.
Yeah, the Hunter came with the Mangoes. So just yesterday, actually, I looked and we talked about it. But that guy always comes with something cool. Also, flip-flop game, it's still on there.
The flip-flop game, what's that?
Yeah, just wearing flip-flops in the track.
I noticed you got the flips and sock combo going on there.
It's the best combo.
So he's doing the whole, he's introducing you to the Australian laid-back, outback approach.
Yeah.
Are you still living in the same sort of areas of Belgium, all three of you, and you still hang out every day on a daily basis?
Yeah, we still, of course, now I've been in Lithuania and everything, but mostly we live in the same places, so we still hang out, we still keep it close.
Cool.
Okay, well, look, AJ, we are out of time. Thanks for joining us. Oh, I noticed, actually, in free practice, fourth. You're obviously bringing your AJ game.
Yeah, I'm coming back. I'm coming back.
You've been waiting to say that.
I wanted to say that. I saw the list. I was like, the A game. No, it's got to be the AJ game.
Yeah.
Well, look, Arminas, thanks for joining us here.
Thank you.
All the best for you, and not just here, but for the rest of the season. And good luck with the rest of the team, Red Motor, Honda, Aston Motor. Right, we'll be back in just a moment with Marcus Brad Freitas. He's HRC General Manager for MXGP. We'll hear what he has to say the other side of this. Highlights from MXGP of Russia, MXGP Race 2.
After taking his first race win in almost a year, Clément de Sal knew he needed a good start, and that's exactly what he got. Charged up the inside of Tony Cairoli into turn one, but it was Jeffrey Hurlings who grabbed his third Fox-hole shot of the season, closely followed by the Monster Energy Kawasaki of de Sal. Van Hoorbeek went down, Anstey and Paul Ant got held up in turn one as well. Geiser made a vital move on Cairoli as well. The Italian jumped short on the finish line jump. That allowed the Slovenian to nick through into third. He gave chase to the 25 and the 84 of de Sal and Hurlings. Back in fifth was the Monster Energy Yamaha of Romain Fevre, as Hurlings kept a watching brief on what was going on behind him. He was closely pursued by the 25, the MX Panda of Clément de Sal on his Monster Energy Kawasaki. Tony Cairoli, though, on the Red Bull KTM, started to get interested. So too did Julian Lieber. Found his way past Glenn Coldenhoff. That put him up into 8th place. Kai Rowley just tested the boundaries and rode his luck at times. But eventually his luck would run out. As Roman Fevre started to apply the pressure, Kai Rowley made a simple mistake and fell from 4th to 5th, handing 4th to the Yamaha rider, the former world champion, 461, Roman Fevre. He then had clear track and went after Tim Geiser. And with 2 laps to go, the Frenchman was through and into 3rd place. Jeremy Seewer and Glenn Coldenhoff battled it out, but it was eventually Seewer who came home in 8th ahead of the Dutchman, who rounded out just inside the top 10 in 9th place. Herlings, though, who was 3rd in moto number 1, got his act together in race 2. He pulled the foxhole shot and eventually came home to win the 2nd race. It wasn't enough, though, to take the overall victory, because Clément de Saux, who eventually came home in 2nd, that meant his overall score was good enough for the overall win. Good, solid performances from Gauthier Paulin again, though, but he was not to make the podium. De Saux, a winner for the first time in 10 months. His last victory came here at Orléanoc in 2017. Herlings continues to lead the championship from Kai Rowley and De Saux. That gap now 23 points, with De Saux back into 3rd. But a good day here for De Saux and Monster Energy Kawasaki. The first time Kawasaki have won, and the first non-KTM victory in 2018.
Hello everybody, welcome back to the final part of our MXGP TV studio show here, round 7 of the FIA Motocross World Championship. It's the MXGP of Latvia, and we're here at Kegums, and obviously the track in the opposite direction, as we've already mentioned at the top of the show. Our final guest is in place. He is HRC General Manager for MXGP, and after 16 years at Honda, he's the top guy now, yes. But welcome Marcus Pereira de Freitas.
Thank you very much.
As we said, HRC General Manager for MXGP. How has the first year been in your job so far since January?
Yeah, of course, it was like big change for me. I've been on the technical side for a long time, so being on that role now is like some good challenge for myself. So, but I find everything fine, real good. So I have like last year, all season, like with Roger Arby, that like guide me a little, like really good. So I mean, I'm fine very well on that position right now.
Mm-hmm. Well, it's been a difficult season in general for HRC, hasn't it? Tim, for instance, missed the start of the season because of that injury. It seems like it's taking him a little bit of time to get over it. Is he still struggling with the after effects of his crash from Mantova?
Yes, of course. Yeah, that was not in plan. So you want to do one race before go to Argentina. So was that the plan for us? So, but that happened. Cannot do nothing, but. You have the good speed now, you can say. You have like speedos there, but just need to be more. You need to do old moto and like feed, but it's gonna take a little time. But you there like close. I guess we'll be soon. We'll be there.
All right.
You says he's got good speed, but last 3 and 4 rounds, it looks like he has found that consistency.
Yes, he has found.
He looked good in Russia, 3rd overall in Portugal. So for you and the team, that must have been a sense of relief that he is getting there.
Yes, of course, yeah. He have the speed, like you say, and for sure now he just need to build that confidence, you know, and step by step, I think he'll be there. We believe in him. We have the possibility to be the top 3 riders and ever GP, so I think he will be there soon.
Yeah, he's been having. He's found himself in 1 or 2 scrapes, hasn't he? First turn crash in the qualifying race or in Russia, and. It's just not a lucky year for him at the moment, is it?
No. Actually, it was not in the plan. Even that crash there. So he was really fast there in Russia, and we just tried to keep that moment. So, but yeah, on the start you cannot do anything. You not expect that moment on the start. Those get hit by another rider, so you cannot do anything there.
And what about Calvin Vilandra in MX2? First round in Argentina, Patagonia. He was so fast, and then. He seemed to have lost a little bit of speed, and then we see him come back in the last round in Russia. What happened after the first round? Did he pick up an injury or something like that?
Yes, he have a little injury after that. He actually crashed on the Dutch race, so it was not in the plan as well, that, but I cannot do anything. So he just, after struggling a little bit, to get the rhythm again, but he's doing well. He feel good in the team now. You do like good testing together, so just take a little time, but he will be there. We was close in Russia, so I think his time will come soon.
Mm-hmm. And what do you expect from Calvin for the rest of the season? Because he was third here last year, wasn't he? So I'm guessing more podium finishes.
Yes. We know that he was in podium last year here, so I think we want to be even there close. You know, we want to be in the podium as well. We believed in have the capacity. It was like good in time in free practice, so I think it'll be okay.
And how is Brian Bogus? Because his ankle injury seems to be taking longer to heal than expected. We've seen this weekend you've brought in Todd Waters as a replacement. So what can you tell us about that situation?
With Brian, actually, we was planning to be back in Portugal with him. So, but then we get that news, bad news actually, that he was not prepared yet. You have to get another surgery. So on that time, then you have to find another replacement riders. You need to have two bikes in the track, so to get more feedbacks of the riders. So, and that was good time because Todd was riding with Honda for the last 2 years, so that was a good opportunity for him to come here. And I think it's going to take longer for him to get in the pace of the riders because the riders been riding for the last 6 races, so it's good speed now. But I think it'll be all right for him as well. Good experience for him. I think it'll be good.
How was Todd in practice? Was he just learning the track and getting bike set up? No problems with him or anything like that?
No. Just to get riding on the track to get like. He was a little nervous. He told me, "Oh man, a little nervous now." So that's normal because I've been out of the GP for a long time. And a lot of people around him. Also in the team that is a lot of Japanese technicians just look after him. You know, just like a little lost. But they're gonna get used to. So.
But that's the difference, isn't it? When you effectively. I mean, I guess the team he's riding for in Australia, Honda team there, is effectively a factory team over there, but you can't beat HRC factory, can you? And that's not being disrespectful to the team he's riding for in Australia. But it is a different animal in MXGP, isn't it? Like you say, technicians for engine, for suspension, sensory, data, EFI, everything.
Everything. So then after every section you have to give like some feedbacks to the Japanese. So it's like look like, oh man. But no, it really enjoy. We did like one test with him before that race, so to try to get him a base bike. So
and I guess the thing there is you make that test before you come here. It's not even anything like going for practice and then going back for the debrief, is it?
Yes, of course. Yeah, of course.
But just briefly then, how are the guys feeling ahead of here? Calvin, he likes the track?
He liked the track. He just needs to get like on good speed. So, but he really liked the track.
Okay. And what can we expect from HRC for the rest of the season? Obviously with Tim, the expectation before he got hurt in Mantova was, I guess to win the championship.
Yes, of course.
He had that knock. He had the crash. He's been trying to build his confidence back. I guess there's no pressure on him now, is there, for the rest of the season, unless he's putting pressure on himself. What are the expectations for him now? Yeah,
no, he don't have no pressure on himself. So, like you say, he's just need to build that confidence. I think he will be like top 3 riders in the end of the season. That's what we expect from him because he can get on there like easy.
Okay. And just obviously, really briefly, we lost Eric Gabors this week. I guess Honda and HRC are feeling that pretty heavily this weekend.
Yes, of course. Yeah, I've been raced for Honda and win the title for Honda. That's really sad for us, to know about that. So we're really sorry about that. And nothing we can say. Yeah.
Exactly. Well, look, we are almost out of time here, but thanks to Marcus and all our other guests, Arminas and, of course, Ben Watson as well. But as we said earlier this week, we're all shocked and saddened by the news that Eric Gabors, 5-time world motocross champion, lost his life whilst out on the lake, enjoying what he does on his boat the other day. And we were all, as I said, we were all very, very shocked. He was 55 years old. A 5-time world champion, Eric Gabors won titles in 125, in 250 and 500, which earned him the nickname Mr. 875. And alongside his 38 Grand Prix victories, he remains 5th on the all-time win list. Our thoughts and our prayers are, of course, with Eric's wife, his family, his close friends, and his loved ones at this difficult time. Goodbye and farewell, Mr. 875, and thank you for the wonderful memories.